Today we're gonna do Dazzle dry nails and we're gonna use this one. I kept my glasses on today so I can see things. If I ever look weird and I'm squinting, it's because I literally can't see. But yeah, we're gonna do School Spirit, Dazzle dry, gonna do my nails. I think it'll be fun. And hopefully the microphone is not sounding crazy, but apologies if it is. I'll figure it out. Can you hear me? I thought I was turning my camera off and I literally deleted all of the footage that I just filmed of like doing my prep work. So we're gonna start again. But if you need a video about prep work, I've already made a video of how I do my nails. We're gonna use the Dazzle Dry Prep here. And I usually use one pump for myself. Then I scrub it into the nail plate, and it's a good practice to move it around on each nail to a different area of the wipe. So then you're not rubbing in oil and grease. Dazzle Dry recommends doing 2 wipes. If you are not doing this professionally, honestly, I think you can get away with 1. Just be mindful of where you're placing your wipe on your nail. Okay, so they are ready and the base coat has been heated up. I like to start with painting with my non-dominant side. So for me, I use my left hand first and then I paint my right hand. And I always like to place my hand on something like a table, make sure that I have really good lighting, and then start from the center. Make sure that you don't have too much product on your brush, and then side, side, and oh, I got a little bit of the skirt there. And then depending on how long your nails are, you can cap the free edge. I don't find it makes much of a difference because my nails are prepped really well. I don't have any adhesion problems. If you're gonna go do something, make sure that you tighten the lid of your bottle. Like if you need to go do something that's not your nails. You don't want to have your bottle open because the solvents evaporate really quickly from the bottle. Like right now, this nail is completely dry. Like don't touch it if you can help it because you don't want to put oil on your nail plate while you're working. But just to show you that it dries really quickly, I did that. Okay, so this hand is on my table. This hand is also on the table. And I go down, I push towards the cuticle area and then glide my brush down. There's not very much product on my brush. And then if you want, you can cap. I'll go in for a little bit more because my bottle is like halfway done and continue on. When your bottle is brand new, it's very, very liquidy, so then you probably can get away with doing a couple nails at a time. But since my bottle is halfway done, my bottle is a little bit more evaporated, it's a little more jelly, and it's also a bit cool in this room. But I always make sure that it's like, for this size of nail, like that much product is fine. Cuticle area to the end. I'm moving my hand to see the sides of my nails because I have very curvy nails. And then I'm going to cap the free edge. Don't need too much product. From the cuticle area to the free edge, moving my nail, but you gotta be careful, like this paper towel is kind of like moving around and might get stuck to my nail. Better to do all of your work in 3 moves and not continually paint over the nail because this dries very quickly and it's just more effective. So, because Dazzle Dry dries so quickly, we should be able to do 1 hand at a time and not have it take too much time. And that way you don't have to worry about this hand getting messed up. So just be mindful where your other fingers are. I like to do my thumb like this. And once you cap once, you don't need to cap again. There's no need to cap anything else. Possibly the color, but honestly, I just don't have any issues with it. So let's continue. I always have at least a finger of the hand that's painting on the table. And just make sure that you have such a really good lighting, and if you need glasses, put those on. And you want to work quite quickly if you can. When you're a beginner, learning how to paint your nails can be challenging, but trust me, most of us start where you probably are, so you'll get used to it. There we go. I'm gonna tighten my base coat for now. I'm gonna get a couple seconds for this to dry. We're gonna use School Spirit. And I hope that my audio is better this week. I'm really sorry about last week's audio. I didn't put the windscreen on. And I had my mic really close to my face most of the time. And I'm a really like kind of person. So yeah, really sorry. I thought the information was valuable. So if you want to learn how to make cuticle oil, then watch that video because it's good stuff to have. Also, like if I talk too slow, you can always put the speed to 1.5 and get information 1.5 times faster than what you would if you watched it in the regular speed. So it'd be like 12 minutes, which is not much of your time. So I know right now that my nails are not dry enough. They're slightly tacky. If you are in a cold room, or if you do this professionally or are interested in it, and it's a cold room, you can always have like a small heating pad to put the client's or your hands on, so then the base coat dries quickly, because when the ambient temperature is cold, your fingertips get cold. Oops, and then the product takes longer to dry, but I just didn't set it up today, but that's usually what I use, especially when I'm doing clients. Especially for the shimmer polishes in the winter, if you have like snow or cold, get a heating pad. It works really well. So make sure you shake your polish. Always check your polish to see if it's the right consistency. There should be 2 drops that drop off the brush. That seemed decent. I'm sorry that you can't see that. I'm gonna shake it a little more because I haven't used it since the summer. Now I'm gonna take most of the product off of my brush. I'll do like a little swirl. Completely off one side, a little bit on one side, and I'm going to paint in the same way. I like to try to stabilize as much as I can. Uh-oh, missed a spot. If you miss a spot, you can always touch it up with your next coat, which is usually what I do because sometimes I miss the sides of my nails on this hand in particular because they are very curvy. 1, 2, 3. You can always go down the middle again if it's streaky. I like to try to like get the perfect amount. You know, I've done this for a while. Sometimes I mess up, but usually I know how much my nails take, which is a little bit more than most people. So you probably want to use a little bit less than what I'm using here today. This is such a nice color. I'm glad I decided to paint my nails. If you have curvy nails, tilt to the side. 2, 3. For the most part, Dazzle Dry will be matte when it's ready to be painted on again. As you can see, these 2 are ready, these 3 are not. If you were doing it in this method where you paint only one side at a time, I would get a heating pad. Make sure your hands are nice and warm. In the summertime, this would definitely be a lot quicker, but because my room is cold and I don't have my heating pad on, actually I should put my heating pad on. Oh shit. Okay, so I messed up my nail. We'll just paint over it and see what happens. It's like real life. Real life accidents happen. I put this little heating pad on so I can rest my hand on it. If this happened to somebody I was painting nails on, obviously I would remove the polish and redo it, but since it's me, it's not a big deal. Middle, side, side. Oh, that's a little bit too much, hey? Middle, side. side. Down the center again. So this is the one that I messed up. Generous amount of polish on top. It should be okay. Not bad. And let's do the pinky. Need a little bit more. Oops. Top coat. Top coat also comes extremely liquidy. With time, the solvents evaporate, and you add this thing called Revive to it, and it makes it better again. So again, middle, side, side. Very fast drying top coat. I like it a lot. It's super shiny. It's pretty resilient. If you use a lot of alcohol in your day-to-day life, you may find that it dries or it dulls quickly, but I don't know, like I think that it works really well for what it is. Do you know what I mean? Like it's obviously not like a curable resin, so it's not gonna have the same luster and durability for as long, but for the length of time that you wear it, which is like 1 to 2 weeks, this top coat is actually really nice. But in one of my videos, I explained like you really don't get to see the magic of it unless you are using the entire system. You don't want to mix the Dazzle Dry top coat with like, you know, an SE base or, you know, I'm just saying names, not because those are like particularly bad polishes. You just don't want to mix and match with Dazzle Dry because it's designed to work together and then you get that super quick dry time. I don't know why you would want to use any of the system without the other parts of the system because it's so nice. Obviously my skin's dry because I prepped it, but I'll use lotion and cuticle oil to rehydrate everything. But look at that, guys. So I'm gonna wait a couple of minutes before I start my next hand, but if you do your non-dominant hand first and then you wait a couple minutes, it's pretty good to go. Like I can touch it. 5 minutes is the exact time, but if you're careful, you should be able to get away with like 2 or 3. Now let's see how fast I can do this one. Ah, finally. I get to do an easy hand. For this hand, we can go really quick. But again, I like to always plant my pinky. This nail is dry. When you plant one of your fingers on your other hand when you're working with your dominant hand, it's a lot easier. So see how I plant my pinky here, and then I use the brush and go down the middle, the side, middle, middle, side, side, cap, middle, side, side, cap. As you can see, I can work much faster with my dominant hand. Okay, so you can see that it's drying now. That's not dry yet. Make sure if you have a heating pad for your clients that they put their fingertips on the pad. Sometimes they just like hang their hands off and that's okay, but if you want your polish to dry faster, you need the fingertips on the pad. Okay, I'm gonna do these fingers first because this is not dry yet and it should be dry by the time I'm done. So I have a lot more control with this hand, so I don't need to plant it on anything and I can still do a really good job. You want to make sure that the base coat is completely dry as well because you don't want to contaminate your polishes with it. It's easy to be impatient, but once your polishes are contaminated, and you can tell because they start to get, oh shit, oh, it's good. They start to get stringy, then you have to throw them away. They're not good anymore. So always make sure that you are watching your polishes, making sure they're not getting stringy and that your base coat is fully dried. Just gonna get some of this scraggly stuff I missed. Okay. Next, oh, some dry polish there. Oops. It's good to be in good practice of cleaning your bottles. Don't be like me and have a little flake come off, because if your polish bottles have little flakes on them, there's buildup. The buildup can lead to air leaks. Air leaks leads to polish that is being exposed to air, which means the solvents can evaporate quickly. You don't need to completely butt up your polish to your cuticle line. Like if you want to start by practicing getting to about there, that's still nice, you know, like, and then each time work your way up a little bit more until your hand steadies. That's totally okay. These ones are already dry. That's wild. One, two, three. Now we just have to wait for this to dry. As you can see, most of these are dry. That one, almost. Thumbs are taking a little longer today. If I knew where my cleanup brush was, I would clean this up right away. Time for top coat. Make sure that you get all the way to the free edge, so you don't have to go over it again. You can cap it if you want. I don't find it necessary, so long as I have my top coat to the edge of the nail. Oops. A little bit there. Okay, set your timer for 5 minutes and then this hand is done. Alexa, start a timer for 5 minutes. So during, ooh, did I mess it up? Maybe. It should be okay. So during the 5 minutes, you can take a cleanup brush and clean up any of the areas that you have a little bit of polish, dipped in acetone. After your timer, time for cuticle oil. You can also put this on probably like 2 minutes before or 2 minutes after you set your polish. Just be careful not to rub too hard on your nails. Isn't this pretty? Obviously that was a little bit extra. I didn't need that much oil. And these are my nails. Voila! I've been dazzled and dried. This is what my nails look like. It's a new day. I forgot to end the video. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys are having a good time. I will see you next time. Bye.